Let's look at one big internal security issue that somehow seemed to take a back seat, and Kenyans are wondering. I mean, we can just jump into that water. And that Kenyans are wondering what has really happened with that. And that was in 2023 when the first, rumblings of what happened in Kilifi County in Shakahola took place. Big internal security issue.
Yeah.
And Kenyans are wondering, okay, so there was a lot of hullabaloo about what happened there. And I think we were at the 6th phase of exhumation last year in September.
Yeah.
And so there are two things that are happening. That an initial number of 34 bodies said to have been found. And we still now, outside a county referral hospital, have a freezer of bodies sitting there, yet to be identified. And families are asking what's happening with that. So for some clarity.
Yeah, so first, when you think about the Shakahola tragedy or spectacle that happened 2 years ago now in this country, is that nobody imagined that there would be something of that spectacle. And more so when you look at it, that this was in the context of religion and Christianity, to be exact, that innocent Kenyans who are expected to be just practicing their faith were able to get into the space where we ended up losing so many lives on account of beliefs or on account of doctrines. And as a government, we definitely take the flak that this happened without us being able to take note of it in good time. Yeah, because we definitely then realized that something was going on that was not correct. And as we started to dig in, and it was shocking. If you went to Kilifi, the expansive space, the Shakahola ranch, that whole place. First of all, it's more or less like a desert. You not even imagine that life actually exists, because then it's close to the ranch, and then of course there's a park there. And as you start to engage, then one thing leads to the next and to the other, and it just speaks to the vulnerabilities that we have as a society. So that when people are struggling with so many things, they are looking for justifications or explanations to understand, then you still end up with criminal elements who want to take advantage of the vulnerabilities that exist in the society for whatever reason. And Shakahola is one dark blot in the conscience of our humanity. As a nation, that we must never allow to happen. But as we were going through the motions, and you pick a lot of other things. So how is it that, because who are the most affected? Most of the cases that we ended up with were women and children, the most vulnerable in our society. So how do we come up with systems that then really looks out for those who are most vulnerable? And then you look at what is happening within the faith institutions, if you like.
Yeah.
And I think it's important that there is an open conversation around how people practice their faith, and some of the things, because there's need to have a lot of self-regulations without the state appearing to be dictating to the church on what to do and what not to do. Out of that, arising out of this spectacle, the president did set up a task force that comprised of largely the faith-based institutions under the chairmanship of Reverend Mutava Musimi.
Yes.
And it picked a lot of things when that task force went across the country. We hope that in the fullness of time, we will be able to implement and follow through some of those recommendations that they put through. those numbers are significant.
They are.
Very, very significant. Now, as the team within the ministry, led by the DCI, the homicide team, were pulling out the bodies from these graves, and it was a lot of work to even identify where the graves or the bodies were. A good number of those bodies had really, really decomposed to the point that, just like you're saying, we've been struggling even to positively identify. Now, for you to be able to positively identify bodies, then you must have, whether it's relatives or people who are close to those who passed away or who lost their lives. And it's not a very easy thing, because then you're asking people to come up and volunteer if they know someone, a relative who disappeared. And in that process, you don't get everybody coming up. So even as you struggle to do those DNA analysis and the like, you end up in a situation where you have, whether it's indeterminate or undocumented cases. That is the bulk of what you've just mentioned, that we still have so many bodies that we've not been able to positively identify. Now, tied to that, then there's also the fact that there are ongoing investigations.
There's a court case going on.
Yeah, there are court cases. So you cannot conclusively say that now we close the chapter on Shakahola when the court proceedings have not been able to be concluded. So it's a whole spectrum and a lot of balancing that must be done.